Fambulem una ado, it's exactly 2 after 10. This na cycle John Barry, they come to una with normal program where they bring stakeholders them that's and around the world for can talk about issues where they happen in our country. This na the then and now. And today we get a guest, he get for come introduce himself. But we get for talk about today with the shift from politics or for talking about political issues. Today we dey talk about education. We dey talk about the University of Sierra Leone. We don't see Bokutin and Don they happen there. And even as yesterday, good news happened for the University of Sierra Leone. But we get for bring una to speed with that. We get big somebody today with we, but he get for come introduce himself. So una stay tuned. And again, I just the ask una make una not forget for share the links to as many people as una can. So this na the then and now. Stay tuned. Okay, fumble them like I've been telling her earlier on. Today we get a big somebody with the na the university, but he go can't introduce himself. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir, and introduce yourself, sir.
Yeah, Saiku, me na James Tambalebi. Me that the Director of Public Relations, Alumni and International Affairs at the University of Sierra Leone.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And fumble them like he don't already introduce himself. In James Tambalebi, na public relation officer and alumni and international affairs, the University of
Public
Sierra Leone.
Relations Director.
Okay, director, yes, public relations and international
Yeah.
affairs, University of Sierra Leone. So Igefo can talk to you about the university. You know, we don't hear so many things where they happen at the university, but we can't talk. So what in this office day for?
Well, as the name indicates, a 3-in-1 office. You get an aspect of our way in our public relations, we now for give visibility to the university, among other things. Relate me now the middleman between the university and the public, the different public the way the university they deal with. The other aspects of the job now get for do with coordinating alumni affairs. And when I say alumni affairs, now the 3 constituent colleges of Sierra Leone, Frobe College, IPAM, and Comas. And then, of course, closely associated with that, international affairs. So basically, a liaison responsibility between the university and within the internal publics, but also among the different external public, the way the university they interface with.
Okay,
So
thank you so much.
in summary, that's now the job.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's start with the recent development. We see yesterday where news come out say the university they rank 23rd na Africa. So tell Fambule more about that.
Yeah, we wake up to a good news, as you say. For the first time in the recent history of the university, they don't rank the University of Sierra Leone in the first 25 out of 100 universities in sub-Saharan Africa. And as you go agree with me, and listeners then go agree with me that this is not a mean feat. This is huge. If you look at the sub-region, now only 2 countries that lead we. Ghana get 3 universities them with the ahead of we, and Nigeria get one. With all the hundreds of universities in Nigeria, only Covenant University in Nigeria lead the University of Sierra Leone, and Ghana gets 3. Apart from that, now we lead all other West African countries. So this is a huge success. It's a welcome news, but it not come as a surprise because the current administration under the leadership of the current Vice Chancellor and Principal, we now Brigadier General Fodisa, been done engaged in what they call the re-engineering of the university. And it entail a lot. Re-engineering of the university basically na, na repositioning of the university for like compete with other universities that are around the world. So what they do is involve curriculum review, the introduction of new faculties, new programs. They introduce the online, the e-learning aspect of the university.
Okay.
I also entail establishing a whole directorate of strategic planning and quality control. In fact, now that directorate, they now in pioneer the work with a team will lead to this success. Because previously data not be available at all for University of Sierra Leone. So we not been the feature on our previous um, survey them will lead to ranking. No data not be exist. So with the establishment of this new directorate, the director when Mr. Bao work under the instruction directly of the vice chancellor and principal, establish a working committee, try for get the relevant data, we span across both administrative activities and more so academic activities. So then provide the data to the team, uh, the higher education ranking, the Times Higher Education Ranking body, then go through some rigorous verification, then cross check, and at the end of the day, yield dividend. And this is the outcome of that endeavor that Sierra Leone did in the first 25 of 100 universities, the University of Sierra Leone specifically. So this is an outcome. If a lot of work, we don't go behind the scene. But as I say, now because data exists previously, so they're not been the University of Sierra Leone. But now that they establish a directorate where they're in charge of that specifically, the quality control and strategic planning, we don't feature and we feature robustly with an impressive record.
Okay. Thank you so much for that explanation there. But which area specifically then assess for make the rank una? Which areas?
A whole range of areas. Then look at the number of academic staff. Then look at the total number of full-time students. Then look at the entire enrollment of students. Then look at also at the number of graduates from the university. Then look at the number, the way number of inside that number, they then check the number of enrolled bachelor students. They also check the number of postgraduate students. Then check the number of enrolled doctorate students. The data also there about the number of low-income students, the way they receive financial aid. In our own case, now grants in aid from government. Then look at work placement. You know, the university mandates now 3. You get teaching, you get research, you get community service. So then look at the academic aspect, then look at the research portfolio of the university, and then look at also community service. So then look at a whole range of issues. If you go now the platform, the the website of the university itself, then go tell you what thing they look at specifically. They look at indicators, then comprehensive indicators, and decide for balance them across 3 vital areas. All which I don't explain so, then collapse under 3 vital areas: teaching, research, and societal impact. in the case of the University of Sierra Leone, societal impact fall under what we call community service, when are one of the broad mandates of the university. So now then three aspects then they where you can also break down into minor details.
Okay,
Minor
thank you so much. We go one for make you explain to Fambul them a bit more about this community service where you mentioned. Waiting actually una they do in that regard and how effective you are and which impact una don't create na the communities or the country as a whole.
So, in the context of USL, we say community service,
Mm-hmm,
but in the context of the ranking of the university, then call societal impact. So
mm-hmm,
basically, now which impact the University of Sierra Leone don't create in communities and society as a whole.
mm-hmm,
So in terms of the students, then students can go on placements, they can go internship, then they contribute to workplaces across the board. You look at faculty, you get faculty members them way, then they work for the university, and then they work also as members of think tanks, now government, commissions, parastatals, ministries, agencies, and so on and so forth. So one classic example, now my humble self, at the lecture at Afrobe College as a full-time academic staff, but also at the serve at the board of the Independent Media Commission. So that's contribution to society. You understand? I get a whole range of colleagues then. The current HOD, Dr. Francis Soa, now be also a member of the IMC board. You get Dr. Suma currently. You get, and this is just an example. So you get lecturer them, when they contribute fully to academia, they're involved in research, but they also involve in supporting the state for do technical job where they contribute to society. So now that's societal impact. It comes in many forms. Some then are researchers, some then are think tanks, some then serve in commissions, others then serve in boards. It come in various forms. At the end of the day, we all contribute one way or another to the development of the country. So in addition to we work as academic staff,
mm-hmm.
and sometimes as administrative staff. It's about your involvement in the greater society out of your academic environment, how you contribute to society. So then it also um, um, consider that impacts this. So you look at the College of Medicine, for example. When Ebola came, the entire medical system was underpinned by the contribution of the College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, then contribute in research will lead to vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
When COVID came, the health system was fully supported by the College of Medicine. You know about the Evovac and the other undertakings, then the vaccines, the and how the medical system as a whole in Sierra Leone is supported by the College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences. So that's huge. So in addition to then teaching and research, then they contribute to society. So hospital, Nakonot, it's staffed by staff members of Comas, University of Sierra Leone. Yeah, so that's huge. You go to IPAM. IPAM now the business school. The bulk of the lecturers then they work for government also. So either they are full-time in government and then associate or lecturers or part-time in IPAM, or vice versa. So then they contribute hugely across the financial sector and the economic system of the country. College, the Faculty of Law, Faculty of Engineering, the Faculty of Communication, the Social Sciences, they all they contribute academically to their workload, but also to society as a whole. So then consider that, and that's huge, the impact in society.
Okay, thank you so much. Fambulem, just want for remind una we just joining. Today we get James Tambalebi, we na a big person na the director of public relations, alumni and international affairs na the University of Sierra Leone. He dey explain to we about issues regarding the university. And as we dey speak so right now, the University of Sierra Leone dem don rank them 23rd na Africa. So that's huge. So they explain to we how waiting at the magic way make at least we able be ranked, because as most of my be recall, like we be they say, well, the university education don't fall and then thing in the. So Mr. Leby, tell me again in the aspect of teaching and the impact like of that, and also the waiting una they teach student them, because some man they say, well, una know they teach them like as to some areas them we go make them go na the job market able for compete effectively. So has that changed?
Absolutely. That don't change with the re-engineering of the university. As I've been saying earlier, when the new vice chancellor take up office, he undertake a project what they call the re-engineering of the
Mhm,
university.
mhm.
And that means getting rid of obsolete disciplines, we not get value or little value for the job market, and introducing new disciplines. And then they don't help and contribute for GUI this ranking. So across the board, there's been curriculum review across the board with new programs then we don't come in. So I give you an example. The faculty who have in the mass com, for example, and I keep giving examples of mass com because now they are there and I know what they very well. It was a department. It started as a unit, it grew into a department, and now a faculty. So first you they get a degree in mass communication. Now you know they get a degree in mass communication.
Okay.
So you can enroll directly for a degree in journalism, for a degree in development communication, for a degree in public relations and communication, and so on and so forth. And even in journalism, it's divided. You can go for print journalism, you can go for electronic media. So there's a whole, they don't create specialization. And when they apply for them programming this specifically. And we get for graduates, and then degree they get. So we don't introduce new courses, but who calls them that the mass com program, they're not obsolete. We don't pull them, we don't replace them with new programs. And this also applies to the Faculty of Social Sciences and Law. Law don't become a faculty of its own and then don't introduce other programs then. In fact, they even don't introduce a master's program in law. And the law degree they now in two different ways. Two different law degree now, starting the next academic year. And this is cut across the other sectors. Engineering, for example, they don't introduce architecture, the faculty. You understand? It used to be just engineering. Now there is a school of architecture. So across the disciplines, there is an overhaul. You go now IPAM. For this academic year where they can start, the Tertiary Education Commission, they don't approve 11 new courses where they roll out starting next academic year. And this
Okay.
involve undergraduate and postgraduate courses. The university will expand. Commerce, of course, the Freetown, like from the college, but IPAM they exist now in McKinney and Bo, and they try for establish a foothold in Kenema, in Pujong, in Kailau, taking the university to the people. So that's huge. So a lot they happen. In addition to that, as I say, a whole directorate they establish are for quality control. So it's not just about teaching, but it's also about the quality of the grading, the assessment system. So also that don't add value to the academic program. And there's the e-learning component. You want study, but you want day from your location and study. You don't have to come physically to any of the colleges. So we don't start up. Of course, we start small because as I talk to you now two programs, two faculties ready right now for the e-learning, and that are the mass communication program and and then another program na IPAM. So they start, but this academic year where they come, and then as we go, they expand. So you get for reach a point that you can sit from your location, from your district, and then be part of the university system through the e-learning center. So these are strides under the new management, under the new vice chancellor and principal, and we still no rest because this is just the beginning. We continue to make our services better and look at how we dey assess periodically the existing curriculum and have a review am. And of course, the research area, it's also been strengthened. Commerce established very much in that area, followed by Frobe College. And then you get IPAM, we get in strength in extramural programs. Those are programs out of the traditional campus, but also short courses. When you talk about short courses, na Sierra Leone, or generally, IPAM is to that's how they impact society.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I want to make you we talk about the quality because before now, we know well the bad name we been they go around. For example, the schools them problems them been there with exams malpractice and how some people them been they obtain any kind way then they get results we qualify them for come to the university and they find out say them in the publish complaint rate. Lots of people then they graduate, but like if they're not FIBA people that will graduate. How the university they ensure like quality this time round, or whose changes when I don't bring?
Well, unlike try the way they can't apply, you count the results or you count scratch card. Now, what's in happen is we portal system has been interfaced with the WAEC system. So now we're able to cross-check your results directly with WAEC to start with. When you can see you apply and at least results you get, or they ask you for where they apply at the portal in the indicator, the year we apply, and you give that you number, you put all the details. So the system they interface with the WAEC portal system, and then they verify. Then they verify if waiting you supply not in line with waiting WAEC confirm, then that's your detriment. You're not going to be shortlisted. So there is a quality control. Now you talk about exams malpractice. Just about a month ago, the university, Frobe College, don't rusticate a number of students then. Some now 1 year, others now 2 years because of exam malpractice. So this it's part of the regulation of the university. Say if they catch you with a spy or you get foreign material in an exam hall, you face the penalty. And as I talk to you, over 40 students then they go from the campus of Frobe College, ranging from 1 to 2 years. So that's a strict measure. We get people away they try for make a let's say harsh, the disciplinary action harsh, but we dey stand with ground for say yes, e get for harsh because at the end of the day, society they blame we for being lenient. And we may not tell them say right from the word go during the orientation, if they catch you in exams malpractice, these are the consequences. So the university get very tough policy on exam malpractice. It's a very tough policy on recruitment, on applications. As I talk to you now, the window don't open for applications for all in a centralized admission system. For big college, IPAM, Commerce, now the same pin. You just go to the bank, you pay, then give you the pin, you go online. Online, I think you go get for go indicate what side they apply for. And once you dey apply, you give correct details, we get the capacity for check now WAEC, whether the information that we give to the university they're authentic or they're not authentic. If they're not authentic, then they take you. If they're authentic, definitely they will consider you meet the criteria, they will shortlist you. So a whole range of issues there. Assessments, um, you get the exams, there's grading for exams, there's grading for attendance, there's grading for assignments or tests. So as there is a quality control measure. It's not foolproof. We know there are challenges, but every year we get some better. It will increase on the quality. The fact that we have now a directorate of quality control, it simply means that then they train lecturers, train staff on pedagogy and on assessments, and, and how you will be fair with the students and not disadvantage them at the same time. So there are measures, there are policies in place. I can assure you and assure you viewers.
Okay, thank you so much. Fumble them. Just one for remind una say we dey talk about the University of Sierra Leone. uh, well, the programs the way they get, and also you don't explain to we well the secret way they behind the success we just like happen like we they rank the University of Sierra Leone as 23rd at the outside the universities of Africa, so that's huge. Mr. Leby, also like in the past, will Blantieri say, okay, lecturers them again, because if you they una dey put all the mechanism here in place for ensure that students then do the right thing in terms of exams malpractice and other stuff. But again, lecturers them some we been dey get some dubious lecturers them where they leak out some questions, and also them in the allege say some people them in they take money for make them pass. Uh, well, the ladies them back that sex for grades and then thing in the uni how what are the mechanism where the university don't take for curb then thing and they if them in they exist at the university.
Well, I don't go deny say they know they exist, but there is a policy in place. Now, like any society, like any vocation, like any occupation, you get rogue elements then they. But I can tell you that these are in the minority. You can't use it to define the University of Sierra Leone. And I can assure you that there are penalties and lecturers they don't lost their job once they find them wanting. And we keep telling students them if you convince say this lecturer a disadvantage you, feel free for step forward with the evidence. And there is in fact a mechanism in place. We'll get a directorate what they call Students Academic Counseling, Academic Area and Counseling Service. It's headed by Dr. Fatutaki. That's not a place where you can go complain and then can protect you. But I can understand because students they scared for come out for complain. But there is a mechanism in place. Also, you go if you feel say a lecturer ask you for money for let you pass him, he ask for sex for let you pass you, he disadvantage you, you get a mechanism in place. And that's very important. Plenty students they don't know about that, or they know about that, but they know they make use of the opportunity. And during orientation, they can tell them, or they tell them, say, there is this mechanism and there's this office, there is this directorate. If you feel agree, take you make sure say you get evidence against the person and take your matter. Then go investigate the matter and then go dispense justice. In terms of sex for grades or in terms of selling grades for money, we know there are few rogue elements then, but the system also don't prove effective because they don't find some lecturers on one thing and then don't lost their job across the campuses. So it's about stepping up, making the complaint, not grumble in a corner, say this they go on. If you know say they go on, help the administration for without the elements and the only way you go able to help the administration and for step up with your evidence, make the complaint, and then go investigate the matter. So there is a mechanism in place. There is a structure in place to handle that.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's say roughly, because you mentioned some figures as to the students that will be who una don't ask out of the universities because of their exams malpractice and other stuff. So you go give you any figures of lecturers them we don't fall foul of this law, and then the university take
I'm not
actions
able get
against.
I'm not able to get the counts na me head.
Mhm.
Yeah. But student they across the board, na commerce, na IPAM, na Fruby College, they don't sack them because of malpractice. Malpractice ranging from bribery to sexual harassment. I really know able to pinpoint. I will do the research. Sometime later, if you engage me, I will able to come up with a figure. But
Okay.
I can assure you, say lecturers and all lost their job because of malpractice, because of indiscipline, definitely. And it in an employment letter that if they find you one thing, you they lost your job. You know.
Okay. Thank you so much. When you been they do your presentation, or when you be dey make a statement, you be say, well, some students they like they know say mechanism day na the university for seek redress, but some they know the Greek come. And we find out say like sometimes some they fear say, okay, these are all lecturers. Now they get for sit down and look into these matters, they no go come up behind themselves. So how whose assurance you dey give them students then they say no, it's not business as usual.
Now assumption, this all now assumption. Test the system, put the system to test. If you feel aggrieved, instead of you afraid and begin assume saying that this they happen, you don't get evidence say this they happen. Now just then just they presume. Test the system, test the structure that is in place, and I can assure you say the person wey dey in charge of that directorate dey na a no nonsense person, in fact na woman of substance. So there is no way dem go cover up a lecturer wey dem find one thing and there is overwhelming incontrovertible evidence against am. So I just dey say is don't assume, test the structure, test the system.
Okay, Famulem, especially like if you na a student na for big college, you dey watch this program, test the system, and then no hesitate. These are the words of Mr. James Tambalebi, and we are the director of public relations, alumni, and international affairs at the University of Sierra Leone. So I dey ask una all for make una continue for share the links to as many people as una can. We dey talk about the university today, the University of Sierra Leone. Mr. Levy, tell Famulem also the some of the challenges wey una dey face, because before now we been dey hear lecturer dem in the strike, but it seems for the past years like we hardly hear strike issues of dem thing in dey. So explain wetin dey go on, and then if una dey face challenges, and if yes, wetin are dem challenges dem here?
Yeah, there are significant challenges. Not going on a strike no means that there are no challenges. It simply means we understand, we flexible, and we try for do we beat in the midst of those challenges. So I can talk from the administrative point of view because that's my job. Money for run the university, a huge challenge. Of course, the government don't take over about 80% of the payment of salaries of university staff. But that not solve the problem at all. It still not solve the problem. It help for reduce them. The major problem is that the students they not pay fees. And the core revenue base of the university na fees. Then you look also the bulk of the students then they on Sierra Leone government grants. As far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, since 2014, the university still run after their money than they. You understand what I say? Student and get grants, um, and then the rest will not get grants. They're reluctant for pay fees. So the overhead expenditure, and then when you look at appropriation in the form of subvention to the university, it not a calm like if for calm. And I can tell you categorically clear that 1/4 subvention where they may give the university is only enough for take care of 1 month overhead. 1 month. It's huge. And you look at the the inflation, where don't impact on costs, the cost of fuel, cost of internet, communication top up, the cost of stationery. So the overheads of the university is huge. It's so huge that the university will struggle for expand. And the university need for expand because the number they expand, creating additional classrooms, additional lecture halls, equipping the lab, creating offices for staff, and so on and so forth. So those are the challenges. Finances, finances, and finances. The university really ambitious. It gets an ambitious plan, but money not there. In fact, now against that backdrop, where the university sometime this year launch what they call the endowment fund, we pretty soon will embark on a public sensitization for let the members of the public, alumni, private sector, public sector entities, see how all man we don't pass through this university, Jala, we if we don't even if you been on in Jala up to 2005, where now the 2005 Universities Act divide University of Sierra Leone and establish Jala University. If you
Mm.
been on in Jala University College up to 2005, you know alumnus of the college of the University of Sierra Leone. So we therefore embark on a massive sensitization drive for see how people that will contribute to this endowment fund because money are the greatest challenge of the university. You know, it's meant to be and for an expansion of facilities. As I talk to you now, the space for IPAM done small, that's our yield. IPAM need a campus. So, but money commerce, you look at the campus na Town, the student number, they grow exponentially, but the buildings are few and far between na Town. And space there for build additional and put up additional structures. So money are the problem. If money available, many things, if not all, will be solved. Man.
Okay, thank you so much. But we dey see, I believe say this una dey face challenges because we dey see the amount of students them where they get university requirement every year. So meaning like where the number really large. So but if students then for example they know they pay fees or then whether then they refuse or you know they, but now at the same time the government way the student the way they get this granting aid, now the money back una no they get am. so which mechanism una don put in place for able trace call debt or at least collect them money from the student them and the
Well,
government?
compliance na commerce is very high for students in terms of payment of fees. However, the greater percentage of students in the College of Medicine, then they on salon grants. So the percentage where they comply for pay fees, then small, not enough for run the college. You come na IPAM also. IPAM self comparatively compliance high because you go for pay before you sit, before you able access the exam hall. At Fabi College. Fabi College will get the highest number of students then. Then they get problem for pay. And when the administration put a system in place for not allow students enough for take exams, you then the administration they come under pressure again for allow them for take the exams. So it's a catch-22 situation. You know, you do, you are damned, you don't, you are damned. So it's very tough. a very tough. Um, Compliance rate in terms of payment of fees in Afrobi College is very small. And of course, it gets a high percentage of students that they on grants in aid. So in fact, now starting last this academic year and moving forward, the policy is even when you get a grant in aid, it will only cover tuition. It not will cover the other costs. The university fee, na composite fee, but it
Mhm.
comprise tuition and other charges. So now moving forward, if you get SLG, go only cover tuition. They cover the other charges.
So
And
okay, let get this thing clear. So would I for determine waiting the SLG for comprise of na the university or na the government?
well, the university take this decision after consultation with MTHE, the Ministry
Mm.
of Tertiary and Higher Education. That
Okay.
against the backdrop of the fact, say the ministry owe the university so much money and enable recoup the money. The only way the university will survive now when moving forward, they're not going to stop for admit student that will get grants in it. But the university say this is the policy. Even when you get grants in it will only cover tuition now. So it's the university. Because at the end of the day, the ending at the receiving end in terms of um, challenges of fund. So now the university, and but they not make a unilateral decision. It was a decision taken in consultation with the line ministry. And so they accept.
Okay, thank you so much. Fambulem, I still want for remind una say una the watch this na the then and now media empire, and una know say we dey bring una programs them about Sierra Leone. We dey talk about so many issues them across the board. Today we dey talk about education. We dey talk about the University of Sierra Leone. Mr. Levy, I still get interest. I want to talk more into this granting aid and well the ministry or government not paying. How, I mean, I don't even understand if the government they give granting aid by right them for pay the money to the university, because without that money the university cannot or will hardly like operate. So wetin the government can tell the university as to why they not pay or why they delay for pay?
Well, now basically the same money. There are competing demands. There are many sectors, not only education, no more the government gets. Then get health, then get agriculture, then get this, then get that. So now scarce resources. I can
Okay,
tell
so
you that the university is owed billions of loans for SLG, and that's huge money where the university need for running itself. Yeah,
so let's say roughly how many percent of the university population can receive SLG every year?
I incline for belief say about half or slightly under half of the student population at the
Okay,
university they on SLG.
okay. So every year they can pay half. The government they pay for them people, let's say 50% and left the balance, or they're not can pay at all. If they're not can pay at all, how many years them owe the university as like whether backlog or what? Like
I go check my record, but the last time I checked, from 2014 to now, they not pay it.
2014.
Mm,
Okay,
I go check my record.
Fambulem. Okay, Fambulem. Una dey still watch the Then and Now program, and then we time na 10:46. We not get much time again, but today we deal with the Director of Public Relations, Alumni and International Affairs, University of Sierra Leone. Okay, tell me also about the whether you don't talk about say una dey try for reach out like alumni of the university. So in the past una don't get any contributions from any alumni association or anything towards the
No,
development?
we not get our mates, but we not go blame them because now we not reach out to the mates.
Okay.
The university don't set up a committee and me na the communication person for that committee, the endowment committee. We just don't launch them about 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. We don't launch them, and then the structure dey in place, the board, where they should pretend that that fund dey, you get for put a robust structure in place where go give confidence to the people and say, once I put money in that fund, they go for the intended purpose. So the university busy, they put them structure the name in place for assure the public, for assure interested people that the governance of that money robust and it protected. So once you give money um, to that fund, and that fund it can give money in different ways. So for example, you na you na alumnus of the College of Ruby College, where you graduate from mass com. So there is a category of fund we go say this one why they donate, so if I go specifically to my department for develop my department. Or there is another category we can say I just dey donate and let the administration use that as they want am. Or I dey donate this money then for invest am, then after 1 year then for use the money. So there are different categories of the endowment fund. And we dey put the modalities in place for do the outreach. We just been done launch them, and many people let me make pledges. So one will get for follow up on them pledges, but also therefore do a wider outreach program. We include um, the alumni of the university. And when I say university, I talk about the three constituent colleges.
Mhm.
So whilst them, to answer your question, they not contribute it, but we not go blame them because now we not do the outreach yet.
Okay, thank you so much. Also, I still the wonder. Let's say if again the alumni, like okay, or you call them former people that will be non graduate from the university, because we dey see around the world, these people like then they play great role na the universities them. But if
Mhm.
we as Sierra Leone, this University of Sierra Leone, no they get let's say any benefit from them people or hardly get anything from them. At the same time, well, the government they delay or they know they pay the waiting and supposed for pay. And then at the same time, students then were supposed for pay them fees, they know they pay. So tell family how una they get money, how una get money for run the university.
If
Usa,
you talk to the finance director, they tell you saying a miracle.
mhm,
The university, um, there are other sources in addition to fees. There is investment. The university get properties, then they pay rent. The university they undertake research, and then they pay for that. So research they come with some income. The university in property them. The university in a landlord, you have a property there across the country. Then they get some money. I make considering colleges and get strength. From the college now then get a property across the country. Commerce and the lead in research. Now they own source of income than the IPAM na short courses and extramural program, among other things. Now they themselves they will source from. So all the three constituent colleges them they chip in addition to fees, other sources of income, then they help for cushion the challenges of the university. But as I say, the fees are the main source of income. The fees, and we get for take bold steps. We get for take now make when graduation can come, you get a lot of students the way they say their name not come out. They're not there for graduate. Then they
mhm,
complain to parent them. Now one of two things can happen. One, they owe the university, boku money or small money. Elect now 1 cent you owe the university, they graduate. Or you get problem with your academic work in the form of um, let's say you get um, reference we not clear, yeah. But I can also say some also get for take responsibility. Some staff then can late for send results, but the greater percentage of the challenge can be the student and owe money or then get reference for clear. So you can read and complain and they, oh, my
Mm.
name not come out, oh, they not left my name out, and not for graduate. We check the greater percentage of the problem, the challenge, na fees they owe. And the university not get allowed to let them graduate. So when they can delay, they always say, okay, able get them. Now when they want graduate, well, they make sure say the last penny they pay am before you graduate, before you name appear in the system. So fees now the greater. But as I dey say, we dey can roll out this endowment fund. Hopefully, people will be happy to contribute to the university when once we reach them out because of new some of this encouraging news wey dey come about the university in performance. I'm sure it will serve as an impetus, it will encourage people for contribute to the university. It simply means if the university gets enough money, standards and quality will increase and will continue for climb up the ladder in terms of we ranking. So this is a huge success we will capitalize on and we can reach out to people. We can reach out to the alumni, we can reach out to private sector, public sector, and all well wishers. We mean well for the University of Sierra Leone.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Levy. Also, we go one for let you touch issues them in there at the university they regarding accommodation and then the facilities. So, how what you not don't do in that regards? Because I believe say they back now the source of income.
Well, IPAM not get accommodation for students. I come not to residential college,
Yeah,
but
and
the
public
administration
college.
is
Mhm.
yeah, the administration they work very hard for relocate IPAM, and very soon we go unveil a big information on that, and that will mean IPAM they relocate to a place where it will be residential.
Okay.
Comas a residential, but there's a limit in the number they can accommodate because they only get one hostel for male and one hostel for female with the consultant. Ideally, the college will want for host as many students as possible because as you know, there is a great disadvantage when you live in a campus and you study. It means you get all the time. You not go to late for going to class and you get time to do your academic work in the night and for study. So Coma Self they work on that. Um, of course, they don't rehabilitate the faculty, School of Nursing, formerly known as the Faculty of Nursing. Self gets a residential facility, then don't rehabilitate them. It's up and running, but there is need for more money to increase the structure. Frobe College, from time immemorial in a residential campus, but the number don't grow exponentially, and there is a limit also. In addition to that, but the new dispensation now is it is not Frobe College where they run the hostel. They not outsource them to a private entity for ensure say the quality is maintained. So yes, accommodation day limited one for commerce. Frobe College is better, but also it need additional accommodation. Um, I mean, but we dey look forward to a PPP arrangement. The administration now averse to a public-private partnership in terms of housing, or any other entity within the public system we can able invest in housing and accommodation. We will able ameliorate the challenge and be a win-win situation. But on the whole, accommodation, a day boy, enough for the
Okay.
growing number.
Okay, yeah, before like I remember we I've been there for big college, like you dey see so many unused buildings them. We so how about those buildings? Una don't get now all the structures then functional or una still get some way really need renovation or I mean for later restructure them so that it could be habitable.
As far as I know, no building not in Afrobi College were not habitable. As far as I know, all
Okay.
structures are habitable. They are occupied. Renovation are ongoing system. The Badia project will not renovate. Um, renovation, it as and when resources available is ongoing. Um, but there is need for additional structures for cope with the growing number of students. And the university gets that at the top of its table. They knock on doors, they explore avenues for get funding. And that's why I said the university launched the endowment fund, because it's about the development and expansion of the college. Fruby College now gets the college will expand na tree planting. Tree
Okay.
planting, if you go there now there you get social work, the social sciences, now then they architecture, now then they a host of other faculty them. So expansion day, but there is need for more because every year the enrollment number they increase.
Okay, thank you so much. Una also, I know say una get student union. How una they operate with the student union body for ensure, like again, compliance from students them in terms of discipline and other stuff. How una they operate?
There is an amicable relationship between the administration and the student body. The student body then they operate na commerce, na IPAM and Fruby College. Of course, tension can be, especially when small tension and can be, but on the whole, there is a fine relationship. I remember first semester na Afrobi College when the college administration published timetable. The students then say the time short, therefore extend them. There was a dialogue and the administration listened and extend them. The second semester, that problem did not arise. So on the whole, there's a working relationship between the administrations of the various campuses and then the student union executive.
Okay, thank you so much. Also, we not get much time now. We don't almost they come to 11 o'clock UK time. They will not they come to 10 o'clock. But before I go, maybe I get one or two questions them for ask, and they are just one for remind fumble them say in the watch the then and now media empire. Today I get Mr. James Tambalebi, na the director of public relations, alumni and international Affairs, University of Sierra Leone. Mr. Lebe, I want bring you to you. Well, una I go call am una baby. When are the mass communications or the department or now na how before now like students then they graduate, then they find it difficult for get a job, and then even for go for get side for go do their internship. The university can help them, then is there any provisions for help the student then get easy like for internship?
Well, internship na mass com a na core part of the curriculum.
Okay.
Previously, we the third year,
Mm-hmm.
we go third year you do am. But now na the vacation between third and final year, now you go do internship, and the students now you go get a placement, you go look for the avenue, and then you negotiate, and then come, and then the faculty will give you a letter and care and go there. So it's pretty much the responsibility of the students for go fend also want do internship. IPAM na a combination of endeavors between the college and the students. In fact, recently the administration of IPAM entered into an MOU, an agreement with the Parliament of Sierra Leone, whose high student the way they do um, courses in governance and leadership, then they go for go do internship. So it's a combination. But mass come as far as I know, now the student they go look for placement. You come to the HOD and then they will give you the letter for go do the internship.
Okay, thank you so much. Fumble them on the watch then and now, but I think say we don't almost come to an end to end the program. So, Mr. Levy, waiting you go one for tell fumble them before you go.
a note of optimism and a note of encouragement that Frobe College, IPAM, Comas, we constitute University of Sierra Leone. All is not lost. We get every reason for smile now in future in the ranking because of the absence of a data. But leadership don't make all the difference. We get a leadership now where they encourage a generation of data for us, different indicators them where the ranking institution they look for. We don't live up to that expectation. And now we're inside the first 25 out of 100 universities ranked in Sierra Leone, now Africa. This is huge. We need the support. We no need for go down below that. We need for improve on that ranking. But for law, we improve on that ranking, you know, just like how the Nigerian musicians say, that money, that they stop nonsense.
Mhm.
We they look for support. We they look for support. We they look for financial support. We they look for technical support. We they look for whatever support. We go keep we up in that ranking. And then, so we have a reason to smile. Despite the challenges, there is every reason to smile because to be in the first 25 out of 100 universities in Africa, it's not a mean success. So we will continue for work for improve on that ranking day. But for do that, we need the support of the public. We need the support of the alumni. We need the support of everybody who believe in education. Thank you very much.
Okay. Oh, before now, I really something just can remind somebody just ask something about student welfare at the university.
Welfare, it's the if you didn't hostel, I get for take care of yourself. So the welfare is the business of the students. The academic side are the business of the administration, basically. So I put that so.
Okay, thank you so much. That's na Mr. James Tambalebi, na the Director of Public Relations, Alumni and International Affairs na the University of Sierra Leone. Na him be dey explain to we about the university. Una say don't listen, and then we thank una all. Thank you so much, Mr. Levy.
Thank you, Mr. Barry. My
Okay,
pleasure. And thank you,
okay,
listener and
okay.
viewer.
Thank you. That now how we dey end the program for today. This na the then and now media empire.